It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing episode 13 of Create This Book by Moriah Elizabeth. I love her videos and she's just really nice. It has been quite a while since I've done a Create This Book episode. Around 5 months to be exact. I do not know how that happened. Let's get started. Okay, here is my Create This Book. It is very thick and falling apart. Don't ask. Let's find the page we are going to create on. Where is it? Not this one. This one. Yes. Create a pet. To start off this page, I took out my pencil and sketched a pet on the page, and then I also took out my eraser and erased all of the lines until you could barely see anything at all. Now that it looks like I've done basically nothing on this page, I am trying to decide what color scheme to go with for the dog. I came up with so many color schemes, and I hated every single one of them. But what I did know was I wanted the dog to be tan, and I wanted the ears and the bow to be a different color. A color that I could not decide on. But since I had at least decided that the dog would be tan, I started with that. Now, if you're new here, my rule for Create This Book is to incorporate my feelings into every single page of the book. This rule, the rule to incorporate my feelings, is a self-inflicted torture of sorts. It does make my Create This Book a little bit harder for me to create on. Over time, this rule to incorporate my feelings has kind of morphed into me just giving my general feelings about the topic of the page. For this Create a Pet page, I decided to incorporate my feelings about getting a pet. What kind of pet do I want? A puppy. What do I want it to look like? Energetic and friendly? Any special decorations? I know this is not realistic, but every single time a pet has a heart around its eye, it's just over for me. I'm in love. What kind of accessory do I want on my pet? A giant bow. And here is where my feelings become very strong. For some unknown reason, I've been very interested in ribbons and bows recently. If you have a big bow on top of something, it just instantly makes it like 10 times cuter. I don't know if this was just my high school, but when I was in high school, the big thing was everyone would wear their hair half up, half down with a big bow in it. Like, I actually have a bow in every single color of the rainbow because I would wear a bow in my hair every day. And this has since gone out of style. At least I think it has. I don't really see anyone wearing bows. Anyway, this is my long way of saying I think we should bring bows back. Who's with me? Who wants to wear a bow? Do I sense your hesitation? Yep, I'm with you. There's a hesitation there, and I'll tell you why. For some reason, people view wearing a bow as some kind of personality descriptor. Like, the second I wear a giant bow, now I'm a bow person. You ride a horse, you're a horse girl. You wear a bow, you're a bow person. I just don't understand why it can't be something that's casual. Why can't I just wear a giant bow in my hair every once in a while and have a nice day? I'm freeing myself of these chains I have created, and I will be wearing a bow soon. Maybe. So my goal for this pet was to make it as cute as humanly possible. And to do that, I incorporated A, the bow, B, the heart around its eye. When I was coloring the tan part, I did leave a space blank for this pink heart. The mouth is a bit too small, but we'll go back to that in a second. After we color in the eyes, I decided to make the eyes purple because I wanted it to match the purple bow. After coloring in the eyes, I felt like the face was missing something, so I did give it some blush, and then I realized the problem. The mouth is too tiny. So I made the nose and the mouth bigger and then made the tongue even bigger. I gave our puppy some eyelashes, and now it's time for the background. I took out this yellow color and decided to paint the background. While I was painting, I was looking at this puppy and going, what is your name? What's your name? What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? I took out my matte decoupage and gave a nice coat of that to the page, and I decided to name this little pup Lucy. I feel like Lucy is a pretty girly name, and this puppy is definitely pretty girly. To finish up this page, I took out my pink, purple, and yellow Posca paint pens and just added little hearts to the background. I just really liked the heart that was around the eye, and I wanted that to be incorporated into the background in some way. I then also took my white pen and added some highlights to the eyes, as well as different parts of the puppy, just to make everything stand out a little bit more. I feel like highlights like this make things look a little bit more cutesy, which is what I was going for. And here is what the final page turned out looking like. I'm really happy with this one because I love how cheerful it looks. I feel like pets are often really cheerful, especially puppies. They're really energetic and happy, and I feel like that comes across really well in this page. I also really like the way I incorporated the ribbon and the heart around the eye. Overall, I'm pretty happy about this one. Let's move on to the next page. Up next, we're moving on to the page that says, create art with wax. Decorate this page using only wax. I've seen a lot of people do this page and use only crayons because crayons are made out of wax. I, however, do not really like using crayons, so I will be using colored pencils, which I actually did not think were wax-based until I Googled it, and it turns out Prismacolor Premieres are wax-based, which I guess I should have known. That probably should have been obvious to me, but I did not realize that. At this point, I've basically erased all of my drawing and you can't really see it anymore, but I am drawing a bear that is dipping his hands into candle wax. The drawing is made with wax-colored pencils. I am also drawing candle wax. A lot of wax on this page. So why did I draw a bear, and why is this bear dipping his paws into hot candle wax? Looks painful. The reason for this actually relates to my feelings. When I was little, I used to love dipping my fingers and hands into hot wax.
What?
Candle wax, to be more specific. I don't know if everyone did this when they were little, but my mom had these candles that would be like huge candles with a lot of wax in them. I would dip my whole hand into them. Did it burn? Yes. Initially, it was very, very hot, but as you dipped and re-dipped layer after layer of candle wax, a thick sculpture of candle wax would form around your fingertips, and it was very cool. Now, I don't want you guys to listen to this and go, wow, I should start dipping my fingers into candle wax. No. No one should do that. I don't want to get sued. No one dip your hand in candle wax. This is something that I did, and when I read the page, create art with wax, I was like, you mean my candle wax hand sculptures?
No.
And that is what I decided to draw. So I guess this page is kind of nostalgic for me. After painting the background blue, I took out my white paint pen and just gave a nice white outline to the bear and also added glimmers to the eyes. Well, I guess the glimmers were already there, but I went over them because they looked a little too boxy. I felt like the background was a little too blank, so I took out my Posca paint pens and added some colorful polka dots just to bring everything together. I added my signature to the top right corner of the page, and this is what the final page turned out looking like. I'm in particular pretty excited about the idea that a bear is typically shown with a honey pot and honey on it, and I made my bear a candle bear, a bear that is interested in melted candle wax. It's a little strange, I'll give you that, but I'm pretty happy about it, and I'm ready to move on to the next page. Up next, we're moving on to the page that says, create a page of checkers. Put checkers here. For this page, I was feeling like doing something completely different. I was feeling like I just wanted to de-stress and unwind. So I guess that is kind of part of my feelings for this page. I wanted to de-stress. This plan to de-stress quickly went south. Let me back up and start by saying drawing random lines in this manner is actually a very good way to de-stress. You don't have to have a plan, it doesn't have to look good, it's just lines, and that's really it. Here comes the problem. I decided to draw these lines in an effort to de-stress, which worked initially. However, I drew these lines on the checkers page. Create checkers. In case you haven't been paying attention, these are lines. Now, before you get all down on me and say, well, why didn't you plan ahead for this? I did. I was planning on making these checkers all along. I thought it would be fun to create a really drippy looking checkered board that kind of looks like deflated hot air balloons. And I successfully did that, but what I did not successfully anticipate was how utterly annoying it would be to color in all of these little tiny boxes. The amount of times my colored pencil breaks is actually astounding. I think I'm pressing too hard.
Oops.
I entered this page trying to de-stress, and I did momentarily do that, but ultimately I walked out of this page more stressed than when I had started. And you know what? If the goal here was to express my feelings, which is stress, I would say mission accomplished. When you see this page, you're gonna look at this and you're gonna go, wow, now that is the most stressful thing I have ever laid eyes on. After I was done coloring in all of these tiny boxes, I fell to my knees, thank God, and took out my black Posca paint pen. Using that black paint pen, I went back over some of the darker parts of the checkerboards, and here is what the final page turned out looking like. My very stressful, deflated hot air balloon checkerboard that took a million years to complete. If you like it, thank you. If you hate it, I'm so sorry. I switch between absolutely hating it and really loving it. Will really likes it. He thinks it's my best page ever, so I don't even know what to think anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are all 3 of the pages that I completed for this episode. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, I have my playlist linked down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!